So in the previous session, we just checked about the loops, that what the loops exactly are and how many type of the loops we do have. We also made few programs to demonstrate the while and the for loop. In the while loop demo, we just checked that how we are going to create up a while loop where the condition comes first and the execution is there. Now we took up a variable that was the counter, and we checked the value for the counter, that if it is less than or equal to 10, we are going to run the execution, and later on we increment the value of the counter, and then the loop goes again and again. Now if we are not going to keep up the increment value over here, what happens? If I do not give the increment value over here, it is going to again run it into the infinite loop because the counter value is not going to change or not going to increment. So similarly, we went for a do while loop. The difference between the while and do while loop over here is that if you see while loop, we have the condition at the start, and in the do while loop, we go for the condition at the end of that block. Now in this case, what happens, even if my counter value is something which is beyond this condition, even then also my loop is going to run at least once. Further, I go for the for loop demo. This is the one loop which contains all the parameters inside the body of the for itself. Now we have a first parameter is like we are taking up a counter variable, that is the declaration part. In the next we go for a condition. Third one goes as a initialization. Now see, we have discussed already these loops in the class, so I'm not going to discuss it anymore. Instead, that why we are just attending up some extra session over here is that I'm going to take up a program where I'm going to tell you how are we going to take the input from the console. Because as we were discussing about the fixed and the variable loop, so fixed loop, it is something where I do not need any kind of input from the user to run it n number of times. But if I say I'm going to run a varied loop, that I'm going to take the input from the user whether he wish to continue it again or not. So in that case, we need the user input. So let's make a program first how we are going to take up the input from the user. There are certain methods, more than one I should say, that you can take the user input. You can take it from the console using the scanner class. You can take it from user console using the input stream reader and buffer reader. So the preferred method what we are going to do for now is that is the scanner class. I'm not going for the input stream reader. The reason is because it is something which is related to the try catch block exception handling as well, and with the streams. So better we can use it when we are going for the try catch block and streams. So it would be more relevant over there. Finally, I'll make some thing over here. Let's say class user input example, or I can say it user input demo. I take up a class, and further I say okay, what I can do is I'll make the main method over here, that is public, or I can go for something like void accept as we did it in the earlier class. So I will not mix the things over here. I'll go for a main class at this place. So I say main class is here, and we take the main method also. So public static void main, and this public static void main, I go for okay string arguments, and what else, I'll save this my program also. I'll create up a, so I'm not going to save this video over here, but what I'm going to save is my program, so I can remind of that okay fine, I need to send you guys this program, and I do have it in the videos folder. So I'll put my today's date, that is August 29. Now in this case I'm going to give the name of the class as user input. Fine. So what I have done is I have taken up this user input demo.java and saved it inside a folder named as August 29. So I save it over here, and I say I'm going to make a object for the class that is user input demo. Let's say it as obj is equal to new user input demo. Fine. Using this obj object, I'll call my accept and save it. Now in this class, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create up the object for the scanner class. So I say scanner, and see, this is the difference because Java is case sensitive. So this is my system defined class scanner, and this is something what I can say it as a reference variable. Now you may be having a doubt that sometimes I use the word as reference variable, and the another time I use it as object. Well, I use it object because from the very starting of your programming world and your studies, you were talking about the objects. And when I come to Java, it is nothing like a word object in my program. The object is always inside the memory. And here I should say it as the reference variable. So that we will discuss it in the later part of the classes. I take up the scanner as the scanner object and I say, okay, fine, I'm going to initialize it with the scanner class. Now, from where do I am going to get this scanner class? So I get it from my package, that is defined package import java dot util package. It is basically a package that gives you a lot of utility. I save it, I go for user input demo, and then I created up a scanner class. Now inside this scanner class, I need to give the standard input. Where is the standard input coming from? Obviously, the standard input is going to come from the keyboard. So I give a reference to that keyboard, that is system.in. Now I'm not going to write it over keyboard because keyboard is referred to as input device, so system.in is provided over here. Now you may be asking how we are going to refer to the mouse. So when you go for some graphical user interface, there we would be referring the mouse with the mouse listeners and mouse motion listener classes. So let's not mix up the things over here. I'll proceed. Now what I need to take is I need to say the user that, okay, fine, what you can do is you can enter up your name. So I say system.out.println and I'll print hi. Please enter your name. Now obviously the name is made up of group of characters. So if it is made up of group of characters, how I can go for, I can say scanner dot next line. Now when I take scanner dot next line, now you can see when I say next line, the L of next line is in uppercase, because there is a convention in the methods that whenever you go for the these names of the methods, they have to be provided, the first word would be in small and rest of them will come in the camel case. Okay, now further I need to, I have extracted it from the user. Now I need to save it inside my some variables. What I can do is I can keep it in string name. Now see, I'm not taking up this string name over here. I'm not declaring this at this place because I'm just going to use one method accept to provide this demo to you guys, and I can print out how the user has, what the user has entered. So I'll say print line. Now in this print line, I want to print the name of the user. I'll greet him. Fine, I'll greet it, say hi, and I'll concatenate it with the name, and I'll ask him that whether he can enter a int value or something like float, or I should say anything. So I'll go for hi name, and can you enter an int value? So I'll put up a exclamation sign. Now this comes as complete. Okay, let's run this small part just to check whether my name is working or not. So I'll go to my command prompt. That's okay. I'll open my command prompt and go back to my folder, that is cd java demo 2, and I'll check my directory whether I have a video folder over here. Yes, I do have. I'll go to the videos. Now inside the videos, I have kept the files that I'm going to create in this videos. Fine, I'll put up a dir command to check. Again, I have a directory, so I think I have made a big path over here. So cd August 29. So now I am going to compile this file, that is java c user. Now I have told you that if you write user and press the tab key from your keyboard, the name will be completed, user input demo.java. So we do not get any errors. I'll go for Java. I'll run this program with the main class because main method is inside the main class. And you see, it is asking me, hi, please enter your name. So I'll enter my name. I'll say, okay, fine. I'll enter my name as technical trainer. So the program is asking me again, hi, technical trainer, can you enter an int value? Sure, I'll enter it, but I need to complete my program before that. I'll say, fine, scanner object. What you can do is you can just ask the next int value. So this is my method again, that is the next int. So I'll pick up that next int, I'll save it over here. I'll say okay, say int number. because it is giving me the returning me value as next int. I'll take it over here inside a int variable. Prior also I have told you that do not use the word integer for the int data type, because integer is a wrapper class and we will study about it later. Now I have saved my number and I'll again message the user that what you have entered, system.out.println. Now what he has entered is, I need to tell the user, okay, I'll print hey plus, I should say concatenate name, again concatenate with some exclamation sign, and it comes over here, you have entered. What you have entered is that is saved inside my variable, that is number. And I put a full stop over here. And at last I should say thank you to the user that is entering up, taking the pain to enter to the values system.out.println. I'll say okay, thank you, that's all. So let's save this program and let me check what the output I am going to get. So I save it again, I just go for here, save. It's already saved. I'll move to this program over here. Say okay, let's run this. I can use the arrow key to go bottom and up. Java C user input demo, we do not get any error. Java main, hi, please enter your name. So I say my name is again technical trainer, and hi technical trainer, can you enter an int value? Sure, I can enter it. I say okay, fine, that is 32. So here you see you have entered up a value that is 32. So this is the program that we are going to just check how we are going to take the input from the user. Now in this case I'll come to my next program, that is I'm going to take up a value from the user, say while loop or for loop, where the loop is going to run again and again. So for that I'll take this while loop over here. So let's make a new program. I'll just copy this over here and I'll save it in the form of variable do while loop. I'm taking up a very big name, very long name for the Java class, and it does not gives me any problem, because in Java, as we have studied up the rule, that it is not going to say anything that how long name you are going to take for the class or file name. Now I come over here. Now see, in some cases Java is not going to have any problem with the file name. I'm talking about the file name, but maybe the operating system that you are using is going to have some problem. So for the class name we do not have any issue, but if you are going to take up a public class, then you have to keep the same name that you are going to keep up for the class. So file name and the class name are same inside the public cases for the Java classes. So I remove this .java because I have just copied and pasted it over here. Now see, what I have done is I have again taken up my old program of variable do while loop, fixed do while loop, and I'm fixing it up over here to convert into the variable do while loop. So I'll wish that if the user is going to say that he wishes to continue, yes, my program is going to execute. So I take up a variable over here, that is string. Okay, I'll say reply is equal to null. I'm just initializing it with the null value. So here it comes. I say do system.out.println. I'll print over here. I'll say hi. If you wish to run this loop again, if you wish to run, or I should say continue, if you wish to continue, reply with yes. So if the user is going to press yes, I should say in a small yes, or I can say okay, y. So if the user is going to say with y, here it comes. Now in this case the user is going to enter the value. So if the user is going to enter the value, obviously what I need is I need a scanner class object. So I'll go for scanner class. Scanner is equal to new scanner, and I'll give the reference of my keyboard, that is system.in, and I'll save the program. Let's go at the top and import our important Java class, that is import java dot util, even I can write it like if I want only the single class, that is scanner, so I can write it in this manner. So java.util.scanner. So what we did in the previous demo was we picked up a asterisk symbol, that is the star sign, because it is going to pick up all the values, all the classes from the package. So I come back to the variable do while loop and I say, if you wish to continue, reply with y. I'll remove this counter because it is of no use to me for now, and even I'll remove this condition. What condition we have to write it? I'll write it later. So system.out.println hi, if you wish to continue, reply with y. Now user, obviously if he is going to see this message, he will, if he wish to continue, he will reply with y. I'm going to accept that y, so I'll say scanner dot, I'll pick up the method that we used is next line. So obviously the next line will come in the format of this string, and I take it as let's say that was my variable I have already declared reply. So reply is getting initialized with the value that user is entering. Now I want to say that I'll not show the user what he has entered or not, because I'll just match that reply with over here. Now see, in this case you are not going to write it as reply double quotes y, because this is a string value, so I need to check it with the help of equals method. So if I'm going to say okay equals y, let's execute this thing now. Now if the reply of the user will be y, and it will save the value over here inside the reply, it will check it again, and if it is y, it will again repeat my loop. So this is not going to go into the infinite until and unless the user is pressing just y till the infinity. So as the user press some other alphabet and some other value, since it will not be equivalent to y, and then it is not going to run. So fine, I'll put it as capital Y because I'm putting up the condition as Y. Even if you want that if the user enters capital, uppercase or lowercase, what you can do is you can put up a OR operator, that is a logical operator. I can say okay fine, if the user enters reply dot equals Y or reply dot equals lowercase y, so any of the value, so my loop is going to run. So I come back and I just compile my class. Fine, I'll say I have saved my class in the same one. I'll just check. Oops. Yeah, it is. No, I have saved it inside the variable do while loop. I'll save back inside my Java demo 2 videos August 29. That is variable do while loop dot Java. I'll put double quotes to avoid any kind of dot text extension. I'll save it. I go back to my folder in the console. I say okay dir, please show me the file list. Here it is, variable do while loop dot Java. Now I need to compile this file. I'll say Java C, that Java compiler, and I'll write var and I'll press tab from my keyboard. So here it compiles. If the file name is correct, all the syntax is correct, I do not have any errors syntactical, so it is going to pass the compilation test. And let's provide the Java environment to run this program. So again I'll write var, it comes as dot class, I'll run it. Okay fine, here you see I get a error. Why I got this error? Because I have called a variable do while loop. Instead I need to call the main class because my main class is going to execute this program. So here it comes. Hi, if you wish to continue, reply with y. I say okay, I am putting up a small y, I press enter, the loop is running. If you wish to continue, reply with y. I'll put a uppercase y. So see again the loop is running. So loop is going to run after I'm going to press y. And in case if I press another letter, say n, so the loop comes out, and so this is my variable loop because I'm not knowing the fixed number of the times this loop is going to run. Right? You can see out this demo from this video, and you can just make that program again and again and understand how we are going to take the user input for the variable do while loops. I'll end my this program and this video over here, and in the next subsequent videos we can check out with furthermore programs for the loops. Thank you.